Hello everyone, welcome to the first official video of TazurehCore. I'm Tyler, also known as Tazureh here, and we're going to take a look at Game Dev Tycoon today. I figured this is a good game to start since I am a game developer. Game design is what I eventually want to do, and let's start by looking at this indie game here. It's on the Steam market. You can pick it up, also support them. I enjoy this game. It's a nice little intro, and we can kind of see together how things work. So let's see, let's start off here. Company name, let's go TazurehCore. Player, be Tyler, and I am male. Let's see, so there's some character customization in the start. I'll go with the nice brown hair, and for a shirt, why not? Let's take the sweater vest here. Okay, so now let's jump into this game. Yeah. So this is a nice little game. Figured intro, everything, and what we do is we make games here. So if I click computer, see develop a new game. Before development can begin, you have to decide what kind of game you want to create and give your game a name. You can also select which graphic technology your game should use. Your options are initially limited, but once you have a bit of experience, you will be able to unlock new options. So let's see, game number 1. What game should we make to start off? Let's take a look at the topics. We have game dev, life, prison, or evolution. Let's make a evolution game. Now we have the choice for the genre of action, adventure, RPG, simulation, and strategy. So since we're doing an evolution game, we kind of want to have role-playing game elements as you evolve a character. So let's go with an RPG, and let's see the platform. Now it costs a lot more to make on the G64. We do have the PC as an option, a lot cheaper cost. In-game development, you definitely time, money is a cost. So we'll start with the PC, and we'll call this let's see, Evo Life RPG. Nice simple name. It'll cost about 10,000. We got 70, so that's a decent starting project. Now for this game, we gotta take 2D graphics or text-based. Now text-based games, typically, from my experience, you can make them in a console application, so it's a lot simpler, doesn't run as much on the CPU side. Or it does run on the CPU side. Graphics run more on the GPU, but since this is further using basic PC, let's make it a text-based RPG. Go start development. So now, as you can see, okay, it tells us game development runs through 3 stages. At the beginning of each stage, you can decide what areas of the game you want to focus on. Picking the right focus for your game greatly increases the points you generate. Think about what areas are important for your game and decrease the focus on areas you think are less important. If you want to read a brief description of the different areas, please refer to the help menu. So let's see, the engine, the gameplay, stories, and quests. Now because it's an RPG, we want a higher focus on the story. Now the engine is what the game runs on. It's the backbone of the entire project. So let's you always want good engine. An RPG specifically, definitely want more story and quests. Make it so the player feels involved. Gameplay, since it's text-based adventure, it can be smaller, because gameplay would be the core mechanics of the game. In ours, we're just evolving a character through stages of life. Let's see, we got a character starts off, it's like text-based. Where do you want to go today? What do you want to do? And you shape your character, you level them up, you go on quests, stories. You can make this a fantasy RPG as well. So let's give a I think this is good. A pretty decent engine, high-level story quests, some gameplay because you need the gameplay elements. But since it's a text-based game, there's not as much we can do with gameplay. There's not our little dudes developing technology. While developing a game, you will generate game points, which you can see bubbling up. Game points are divided into design points and technology points. The more points you generate, the better the game will be. Now this is true in the real world. You need your design and your tech, and they don't always clash or mesh together, because sometimes designers have ideas and programmers, developers, can't always fulfill just as the designer sees it. So any tips for designers is probably see how a programmer might see. Give broad ideas. Don't go in depth with a concept, but find your concept, and then people can work with you and help shape out how you want to design and develop the game. So from time to time there will also be bug points generated. These points become less likely once you gain experience. Bugs should be fixed before the game is released and increase development time and cost. I know as a programmer, bugs are one of those annoying things you have to deal with, especially if you're leaking memory. So we have a new stage 2 of development here. Dialogues, level design, artificial intelligence. We want some artificial intelligence if the player runs across a computer, but it doesn't have to be as massive. I'm currently taking an artificial intelligence class, and a lot of it is with pathfinding. We won't have much pathfinding in this game because it's text-based, so we can drop artificial intelligence down. Level design, we don't even need that much of because it's a text-based. We want to set the environments up, but definitely dialogue. Since it's text-based, you want to be able to clearly communicate the dialogue. Let's go through. And another 8,000 monthly cost. I'm down to 52,000. Started off at that 70,000. He's scratching his head here. It's a nice little simple game. It kind of teaches you the different steps of the design phase. So let's see. During development, you can also select additional features for your game. Right now, you can only pick basic sounds, but your option will increase quickly. Selecting additional features makes the game generally better, but also increases its cost. You will also see graphic type you selected when you define the game. This is just to remind you of your choice. You cannot change the type of graphics mid-game. Okay, that makes sense. So we do have the text-based graphics and basic sounds. Or, no, okay. Basic sounds is an additional 5,000. We do want sounds. A game is made based on the art, the core gameplay, sounds. If you had a game with no sounds, sure, you can still play it, but it doesn't immerse you as well. And since this is a text-based adventure, giving basic sounds to indicate like a beep or anything like that to let the player know they achieved something, it gives sounds are one of the ways to give good feedback to the player. So since it's text-based, again, don't really have to focus on the graphics. World design is alright. Definitely get a good sound to feedback for the player. So I'll go about this setup here. Decent world design, low graphics, because again, we don't really need them, and definitely we want that sound. So that was the third stage of development. And it looks like we got our first bug, 2 bugs. And it looks like we finished our first game. You can press the finish button, publish, but you should only do that once you fix the majority of bugs. Releasing a game without fixed bugs can severely affect your ratings. That is 100% true. So he's fixing, now we have no bugs here. We also got a design point. So they give you points to kind of relate to the actual process here. And you can see times ticking away, but I get a little extra design point. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this game now that our bugs are done. The development of your game is now finished. While developing games, you can gain experience and improve your skills. When development is completed, you will be presented with a summary of the experience gained. So it's showing us how we did. Definitely a lot of design. We got 5 for technology. and it's showing us our points in what areas we get, and it looks like we can level up our engines, gameplays as we progress. The more we work, on, I guess, artificial intelligence, it goes up a certain amount. Since we put a lot more in dialogues, we can see dialogues here increased by 139, which is just like the real world in programming. You learn it by constantly doing it, doing new things, and just expanding your knowledge till you get better. So we've now handed our first game, Evil Life RPG, to be published. So hopefully we see these reviews and sales coming in soon. We can see how I did on this first game here. Okay, reviews are in. Here we go. Looks like a not so great score. 2, shouldn't forget about the gameplay, which is true. And it's not much fun. And also disappointing. RPG games work well on PC. So, I mean, I did get some points there. Not that great. I believe it's a scale to 10. So 2s and 3s aren't good. But again, this is the very first game. There we go. After publishing the game, you can invest a little bit of time to analyze your creation, generate game reports to show what was working well. So let's generate a report here based on Evil Life RPG, so we can see where we did good, where we went wrong. So let's find out. Let's create that game report. It's always good to see how your projects work and how they go. 1,700 copies. That's not bad according to how I'm thinking. So I'll get income, as you can see. So I'm not just broke, because I've started at 70,000. I was at 35, just went up to 42. So I'll get a slow income with this game whenever people want to purchase it. So evolution and RPG is a terrible combination, so I guess I got that wrong. World design seems to be very important for this type of game. Okay, I can see that. How I kind of thought of the game was a little bit differently, going through a text-based adventure, expanding your character, giving options, picking paths. But I don't believe that's what it was exactly relating to when we were looking at these topics. But now we know. We kind of shape. And again, practice. That's pretty much for anything you can do in life. You practice, learning anything you're good at. Over time, you'll slowly get better and become more adept at it. And once you're done, you're there. So I'll leave it there next time, where we'll work on Game 2. So thank you all for watching this first video. If you liked it, please hit a like. It lets me know you like it. Again, any comments, if you want to see a certain type of game or how I would build it, or even if there's a certain type of game you want to learn more about, I can talk about that from my real world experiences on RPGs or any other genre. So please like, comment if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time for our second game in Game Dev Tycoon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.